Hello and welcome to Fresh Face Comics, the comic book podcast where a lifelong comic book reader guides his friend through the road of comics for the first time. My name is Joey Morgan, the aforementioned lifelong reader. With me as always is Jacob Licklider, the aforementioned newbie.
This comic had a distinct lack of presidents shooting themselves in the head.
That is true. And Jacob, I know a solid portion of our audience is going to get that joke. But
I'm not explaining it. I
mean, we're going to have to based on one of our Blue Sky questions.
I'm not explaining it. I owe you an explanation.
We're going to have to explain it, like I said, with one of our Blue Sky questions. Anyway, today we're talking Iron Man Extremis. We're starting up Iron Man comics, finally, today on the podcast. To join us for our Iron Man comics, we have a returning guest to the podcast, the one, the only, Mason.
Hello, everyone. I'm back. Do you guys? Hey, have you guys ever had LSD? Because man, oh
Mason,
man, what's up?
Mason, you are actually one of my favorite people.
Oh,
I'm so happy to have you back on the podcast to talk about Iron Man Extremis by Warren Ellis and Adi Granoff today. Going to be a lot of fun. As this is also part of our current Marvel block that we're doing. We have another Iron Man episode coming up next time, and afterwards, to combine our previous block of Captain America episodes and our current block of Iron Man episodes, we are covering the Marvel Comics event Civil War with our guest from last time, Kestrel, and Mason from this time.
It's going to be maybe our most chaotic episode.
It's going to be a wild episode. I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, I cannot wait. But in the meantime, we're here to talk about this today.
Should we address the elephant in the room?
I was just about to think that. See, Jacob, we're great podcast hosts. We think about these things at the same time. Go right ahead, Jacob.
So, Iron Man Extremis is Warren Ellis, who is an admitted sex pest.
It's true.
As it's always difficult to separate the art from the artist, and arguably impossible. We will be providing links down below for anyone to make a donation to RAIN, that is the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network. They are a great charity for anti-sexual violence towards women. And I think they also do. I don't think they're just a women's organization, but they are a great charity. And it's something that, as we are going to have to cover a lot of things from a lot of problematic creators who have done awful things. It's our way of giving back. Every time we do it, I'll be giving a small donation, and we hope you will donate. So they will be in the description on all podcast platforms and the YouTube video. Especially since Warren Ellis is a sex pest.
Is not good. Obviously worth noting that. Thankfully, those things do not affect the conversation around a comic book like Iron Man Extremis. So thankfully, we will not have to. That will not, I think, detract from the conversation today. But it is worth noting, Warren Ellis, bad person. Getting that out of the way, though, I think kicking off our non-spoiler section off, as always, I'm going to toss it to Mason, because I love tossing this to guests. Mason, what is Iron Man Extremis about?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so there's this like new drug going around. Well, it's kind of a drug. It's kind of like this sort of, I guess, weaponized version of, like, I guess for lack of a better term, like a mutant virus, where like the idea is that like you're supposed to inject it and like get stronger or whatever, and it usually doesn't work. But it worked for this one person, and it's not good. So now we have to go figure out how the fuck to deal with it. And there's a lot of talking with like people in charge, talking to people who are in who are in some ways responsible for this, and then like the final showdown with the actual person themselves.
Mm-hmm. Nice, succinct.
Can we also just say it's a shame that our first story that we're covering with transhumanist themes isn't by Grant Morrison? Like,
that's fair.
Noted transhumanist Grant Morrison?
Yeah, that's fair. Also, I usually do this when we cover new characters or teams that we haven't covered before. I guess I'll toss it to Jacob now. Jacob, and we'll toss it to Mason afterwards. History with Iron Man as a character leading up to this point.
So the movies, like, I saw Iron Man 3 in theaters. I've seen the other two Iron Man movies. I've seen all the Avengers films. Robert Downey Jr. is the character in my eyes.
He just is. Yeah, it's people can make fun of him all they want, but again, yeah, he totally defined that character for the big screen. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's a character. I'm gonna be honest. On my list of Marvel heroes that I was interested in covering, I don't know how high he was, honestly, just because he's a capitalist billionaire, and he's not like I. There isn't a whole. I mean, with characters like Bruce Wayne, there's always been sort of this class element of the billionaire aspect that gets addressed, but with Tony Stark, it doesn't. Like Iron Man, Iron Man was created by Stan Lee quite literally just to be like, I want to create a capitalist villain to do a character I don't agree with necessarily.
Yeah,
even though
I gotta say it's very funny. I've read a fair bit of Silver Age Iron Man, and I actually really love Silver Age Iron Man. I just find it incredibly funny. If it weren't for the fact that this was specifically tying into a book that we had already started, and I had this whole block planned out to lead to Civil War, we might have even covered some Silver Age Iron Man like from the very beginning.
I mean, hey, I'm not counting these 2 volumes as a run because it's not really.
They're single story arcs. They're
single story arcs, and they are like by 2 completely different creative teams. And
I'll say actually, having reread Execute Program already, it does actually follow up on Extremis way more than I remember it following up on it. But
interesting.
They are still very much their own story arcs.
So. They're their own thing, and Extremis especially. You can tell this thing had a troubled production. Like,
yeah.
It should get taken.
To me, I'm assuming it's the Jim Lee problem of you get a highly prolific and detailed artist like Adi Granov, it's gonna take them a while to get the book out. Like, especially considering Granov is doing all of the art by himself. Like, it's
he's doing the pencils, the inks, the colors, everything but the letters.
And it's great, obviously. But yeah, I would imagine. I know that this thing definitely had some production issues, but I think it's just delays in extremely highly detailed art.
I mean, there's clearly a reason why the team changed entirely.
Oh yeah.
After these first 6 issues.
However, there are because I know you have the Execute Program trade, Jacob. They do include Adi Granov continue to do the variants for, the main covers for the next 6 issues for Execute Program. So,
which that's cool. That's cool. It's also probably meant that book wasn't nearly as delayed because my God, like this story arc starts in 2004 and ends in 2006.
It's true.
This was supposed to be a big relaunch for the book. Like, I don't know if any. Like, I don't know how well this thing sold.
Yeah, it must have sold well. Because I know it was very popular. But anyway, Mason, your history with Iron Man as a character?
Yeah, so I'm sure I mentioned this in the last episodes I was on, but like, I very much grew up with the MCU. Like, I went to see Iron Man, the first one, in theaters when I was 6, and me and my dad went to all of the MCU movies up until, I want to say, Far From Home. And like we saw all of them in theaters. And so like Iron Man is one that I very much grew up with, specifically the movie version. Like, I love the Iron Man movies. As it turns out, I didn't realize this, but I actually have quite a hot take about them, which we'll discuss in a bit. But like, as for the character themselves, I mean, it was very interesting to me reading this because all of this comic came out before like Robert Downey Jr. ever even was Iron Man. Like, this is all pre MCU, like pre any of the movie adaptations. Yeah, and it was so interesting seeing like what was different than like I knew, because like obviously in adaptations you're gonna adapt stuff, but like reading this comic, it was so interesting to see like a character that like would be the basis for like this enormous like multi-billion-dollar like film franchise just like existing as a character on their own and like casually being like, oh hey, you know, call the Avengers, or like hey we'll do this or whatever. And just like it was, I guess I wasn't expecting it. Like, hold on, I'm gonna restart the sentence. I think in my head, because of the movies, I subconsciously almost expected Iron Man to be like a a more central figure in the universe. But no, that's not how like all the comics work. Like everyone exists sort of in their own, I guess, run, and then they cross over sometimes. Like it was really interesting being able to like read that as a perspective.
Yeah. I think at the time, Iron Man was still kind of considered a C, maybe low B list character. It is the MCU.
I mean, let's be honest. Pre MCU, Marvel had like 2 A-listers.
Yeah, exactly.
Spider-Man and the X-Men.
Yeah,
the Hulk. The Hulk was also up there.
Was the Hulk really that big of a character?
The pillars of Marvel marketing pre-MCU were Spider-Man, Wolverine, and the Hulk.
So the 3 that got sold off, and
was the Fantastic Four up there, or
not as like not as big marketing wise as those other three right now. Especially considering most of their movie wise, because that's how they sold these characters, were considered flops for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I have
that's fair.
I hate that now that those Fantastic Four movies are like having that the Star Wars prequels revisionism of.
I don't know, man. I watched the first one not that long ago, and like it's actually kind of a banger. The other ones are bad, but the first one's not that bad. I kind of like the first one, but also in relation to the MCU, as Mason was bringing up, there are bits of this book, much like last time on our Captain America block, because Ed Brubaker's version of Cap is sort of the version of Captain America that the MCU sort of adapted, characterization-wise. This version of Iron Man was sort of what the MCU utilized as their basis for Tony Stark, and also to the point where like Adi Granov, this particular story arc was so influential to that version of the character that Adi Granov was hired as a concept artist by Jon Favreau on the first Iron Man movie. And
that's
it's
cool.
all the things we're sort of covering within this block, up to and including Civil War, were all very relevant to these MCU conversations that keep coming up in these episodes.
I mean, look, Joey, the MCU, I hate to say, is a dominant part of pop culture for worse.
Jacob, I need you to be. Jacob, I need you to be more clear about your opinions. I'm not getting it.
To be fair, there's a lot of the MCU that I like.
I love all of what I've seen. The issue is I just haven't seen a lot of the newer stuff.
We're also recording this on May 3rd, and according to early reviews, Thunderbolts is actually a banger. I don't know if that's true or not. Apparently it's a banger. So
yeah, apparently it's a banger.
That's blowing my mind right now, but I don't know. It's
likewise.
Crazy. Yeah. Anyway,
we've all had a mutual describe it as feels like an actual film from an actual director with an actual vision, which
I love it.
I want to do a wellness check and make sure they're feeling all right, because actually Kestrel's gone and seen it, and they are having positive takes, so we can.
Kestrel was always gonna like it. No offense to Kestrel, but Kestrel was always gonna like it.
I was gonna say they are also
go on.
A fan of Bucky Barnes.
Yes,
but yeah, I mean,
this is going on a while. Jacob, we're gonna get into some blue sky questions.
Well, I also have some other actual things. What's interesting is I think there are things in here in these 6 issues that are taken out and integrated mostly well into the 3 Iron Man films, mainly 1 and 3. 2, that's a messy film, a really messy film.
Better than 3.
No, it's not, Joey.
It is better than 3. Jon Favreau has fucking style. You cannot pay me actual money to sit through a Shane Black movie willingly.
Have you seen Jon Favreau's version of The Lion King, Joey?
No. I have not.
No, Joey, no, this is important. Hold on a second. You cannot fucking talk shit about Shane Black. Have you not seen The Nice Guys?
Oh, fuck, you're right. I forgot about The Nice Guys. Son of a bitch. This is the second time, I think, on a video on Blood Note Studios that we've brought up The Nice Guys, and I forget why. Oh, yeah, Russell Crowe back in our Man of Steel commentary. That's right.
That's right, yeah.
God damn it. But no, fuck, you're right. Damn it. But I also watched his Predator movie not that long ago, and I fucking hated that thing so much.
That one's fair. That one's fair.
Oh, God. Anyway, fuck. All right, Blue Sky questions. Blue Sky questions.
Yes, we actually got some nice ones, but
we got some nice ones. Okay, let's get the bit out of the way.
Can we get the bit out of the way? Because oh my god!
From our
okay, can I just say it keeps expanding, and I don't know if we can stop it.
Other people keep joining in, and it's a shame. Our friend Jamie at Jamie-Season7 says Iron Man ? Kian took the one that he was going to do. Jamie attaches a picture of a Cyberman from looks like Dark Water, Doctor Who's Dark Water. So
probably because there aren't many great images from Nightmare in Silver with the Iron Man Cyberman.
Doctor Who, by the way, for those who don't know, is a science fiction British television show that aired in 1963 and has been going on and off for about 60 years. Anyways, go on.
Kian, at Kian the Quark, posts Extremis ? With a picture of the Doctor Who episode. I believe they say it Extremis in that one. But you know, it's the 12th Doctor played by Peter Capaldi, Bill Potts, and Nardole from the episode Extremis. And yeah, that's okay. For those listening that didn't get it, that's what Jacob referenced in his intro to the episode.
Yes,
it's stop punching your microphone, Jacob.
I'm not. I am not punching my microphone.
It always sounds like you're fucking boxing it, Jake. It always sounds like you're fucking boxing
Julie, what it is I need a new chair that is not nearly as loud as this because I cannot stay completely still. I
will buy you a new fucking chair.
I'll send you my new address. You can buy me a chair.
Totally. Our friend Andrew at Andrew Doing Art says Invincible ? So okay, so the cover of this book says the Invincible Iron Man. So Invincible in this case equates to a picture of Rose Tyler as Badwolf in the Doctor Who episode The Parting of the Ways. Where
I think it's because she's got her hand raised. I think that's
I like that one. That one's funny.
I think Andrew, buddy, I'm gonna need you to explain this one.
No, I get it. She's literally an invincible character in that moment.
I like that one. That one's funny. I didn't see that one.
And of course, our friend Rules Panda at Joey can read this, throwing his own little spin on it. Says Iron Man ? And I gotta be real, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah, this is.
Wait, what is it? Hold on, look.
I feel like there's some really deep cut Muppet references in a lot of.
This is definitely a Muppet thing.
Yeah, there's some really deep cut Muppet references in Rules Panda's posts, and I feel like I don't get a lot of them because I thought I was a Muppet fan, but I didn't realize until I started seeing these responses to our Q&As that I realized how little I knew about the Muppets.
Honestly, this is the one aspect of the bit that can keep going forever. Like Kian. Jamie, you can just fuck off. Stop doing that.
Keep doing it. Do it harder, twice as much,
more. Amazing. Oh my god. Back to the regular questions, though. Andrew also submits, I remember the story being wildly popular back in the day to the point where non-comic fans were talking about it. Do you feel it's a good entry point for non-comic readers to jump into the medium? Interestingly, I wouldn't say like it's like one of the best stories ever, but I can see it being a really good entry point to get someone into a comic. I think
it's the terrible thing of no, that was good. That was good.
Yeah, it's good, and it could easily be someone's first comic ever.
It's not amazing. Like it's got some interesting ideas. I honestly, a lot of it devolves into action because I don't know if this was like stretched to 6 issues.
I don't know.
There's some of it that feels a little stretched.
I think in the back half of the story, I think each portion of the action does like serve a specific purpose. You could tell like Warren Ellis's outline was like, this is the issue where this happens. But when you actually say like this happens here, like if that. There are times when it seems like that is the only thing that has to happen.
That is the thing that happens, and
yeah,
it's. It's kind of a problem for pacing. Like Joey and I were talking, like because Mason only read this a couple days ago before recording. We were like, Mason's gonna have this done in like less. Mason's gonna have this done in like less than an hour. And Mason, how long did it take you?
I wasn't timing, but it was pretty quick. Like to be fair, I'm a very fast reader. Like in general, don't ask Jacob about Wheel of Time. He's lying. But like usually, I do read very fast.
I think a lot of that has explanations for why it's taking you so long.
That's very kind.
I understand.
Don't accept his excuses, Jacob.
But yeah, like this one took like 45 minutes. Like the first half of it especially had a lot of dialogue, but like after that it definitely shifted. I noticed.
Yeah,
I was gonna say like
all
the last
pieces are in
issue.
place. Yeah,
The last issue has like what 20 lines of dialogue.
maybe.
I didn't count, but I really actually now I'm so tempted to actually go through and count. Let's see. Keep talking. I'm just going to be counting over here. 1, 2.
Sure.
Jacob,
We get,
podcast.
we got another question from Jamie, which says, "When are you getting the GD 1-255 on as guests?" I don't think I get that. Anyone?
Really?
Do I?
Read it again?
Hang on.
Read it again.
The GD 1-255. I'm sorry, I got nothing.
Hey man, what's my name?
It's 1 to 255.
Oh, wait. 1 minus 2. Okay.
1, 2, 250.
Oh, I see.
Mason
Okay,
is the
sorry.
256.
I was sorry. I was being a dumbass, and I was reading it as like a full number. Not.
I'm
like
also getting
38.
I'm also getting 38 dialogue balloons.
Cool. But no, I was reading that as like I wasn't reading it as like 1 through 255. I thought it was like saying 1-255 as like a number.
No, it is.
Oh, but
here's the thing: the answer to that is we can't. Mason ate them all and took their place because he's the current iteration.
Listen. I wasn't gonna mention, but unfortunately, yeah, I did have to eat them. I was very hungry, and we ran out of mac and cheese. But yeah, next question.
Yes, next question comes from our friend Rachel at Chelsea Shells. Says, "Is virtue only virtue in this book?"
I'm really tired, man. What does that mean?
It's quoting Doctor Who Extremis.
Oh, I didn't know that one either.
Quoting Stephen Moffat.
I think everybody pays far more attention to Stephen Moffat scripts than I do. So
I was gonna try to bust out the Moffat impression, but I am like on the perpetual edge of a coughing fit right now, and I don't know why.
It's so clever.
It's so clever.
It's so clever.
Virtue is only a virtue.
In extremis.
In extremis. I call it that because it's an extreme story.
Rachel also says, "How do you feel about this versus the movies inspired by it? Are there shared elements that were done better in each medium, or do you feel one is resoundingly better than the other?" I don't like Iron Man 3, so sorry, I should say I don't love Iron Man 3. It's an acceptable movie. I just I don't know. I'd sooner read Extremis again, the book, personally.
This is okay, so the book is a very personal one-person story that I'm going to be honest, like...
Is what Iron Man 3 should have been?
I was going to say, I don't know if you can really adapt it particularly well to film. At least not a typical superhero film. I think... So here's the thing: Iron Man 3 mainly just takes the idea of the Extremis virus and runs with it, which, like, I honestly think the story is what Iron Man 2 was trying and failing to be, and in a lot of ways, what Iron Man 1 was trying and kind of succeeding at being.
Iron Man 2 is much more. If Iron Man 2 is trying to do any story, it's trying to do Demon in a Bottle.
I've not read Demon in a Bottle.
Well, I know you haven't because this is your first Iron Man comic. Oh God. So.
Wow. Man. What, Rachel? What number episode is this? I feel like there's a lot of animosity between you two.
93. We've been doing this for far too long. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Rachel also says, "If you could iron one man, who would it be, at what temperature, and for how long?" Jacob Licklider.
Is that your answer, or are you telling him to go first?
No. I would iron Jacob Licklider.
Okay.
I'm trying. Oh, shit!
I got it. Joey, you're doing it. How did you do that? Holy shit, it's magic. I'm dying.
I'm sorry, everyone. We're gonna have to cut here so I can get some water and get.
I'm not cutting. There's no way.
No. Just cut so I can get some water. But keep this bit in, okay? Keep this bit in.
I'll consider it. Mason, we should keep talking while he's gone. So anyway.
All right. Well, here I didn't really.
Who would you iron?
Well, actually, first, I will say on the last question, because I don't know if I actually officially answered it. The personal aspect of it, like, I do think I prefer the personal, like, I guess, inner conflict in the comic as it is portrayed in the trilogy of Iron Man movies. But in terms of like the Extremis story itself, I mean, I might be biased because again, it was the version I grew up with, but I do prefer the movie. And again, I read this comic within the last 48 hours. Like the like even if it was the best comic of my life, I don't think it's gonna surpass the 10 years I've had with the other version. But like I think
That's fair.
I think there are some things that the comic does better, and there are some things that the movies do better.
I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I don't feel especially strongly about either Iron Man 3 or Extremis the book. Like Extremis is good. I don't love it though. Whereas like Iron Man 3, I'm like, it's fine. You know, I could live without it. I could live without either of them, really.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Who would you iron?
So is this like when she says iron, does it mean like put them on an ironing board and like?
I think so.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
I would. Let's see. I would. Oh no, that's a dark joke. I shouldn't do that one.
I'm not going to say my answer because it might get me arrested.
Oh, okay, cool.
I honestly, that's a great answer. I like that answer. I probably agree with you wholeheartedly, but we'll never know.
I will say at temperatures, at least 200 Celsius for 10 minutes.
Cool. Anyway, our last set.
Yeah.
What's up, Mason?
Oh no, I was gonna say I don't know who I would burn, but I agree with the temperature and timing. I think that's how long you need to let them simmer.
It's a good idea. Our last set of questions.
I am very scary for whatever the hell I missed.
Jacob is very scary.
Jacob is a scary guy. So our last set of questions comes from a guy named Mason Peters at the GD256. This fucking guy. I feel like he only comes around whenever Mason is on the podcast.
Okay, no, it's bullshit because this guy, he killed my wife. He stole money from my family. He's taking my identity. I've had enough of this shit. I'm gonna kill him.
So, I'm sorry about that, Mason, but he does have some questions for us. So,
fine, all right, fine. We'll
first
humor
question:
him.
do you think this story aged well?
Yeah, I think it aged fine.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything like offensive about it, other than that Warren Ellis wrote it.
I mean,
there's one specific part that like really stuck out to me, which is to break the bit. Like, is the reason I asked because like I don't understand like the person who had the flag on it with the Nazi logo on it. Like,
oh, okay.
If you're against it, why would you wear that? Like, why would you wear a Nazi?
Yeah, that's a weird.
Yeah. I think that's more a conversation for the spoiler section. But yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. That's fair. Yeah, we'll bring that up more in spoilers.
Okay.
Yeah. This guy's second question: how much money could I pay you to hypothetically do LSD? I mean, I'll try anything once.
I was gonna say, like, my fee is at least $200.
$200. Interesting.
Yes.
You have a fee for this?
Yes.
You have like a preset like.
I was gonna say you make it sound like you thought about this, Jacob.
It's a business.
I mean, we don't need to talk about where the dark places my mind goes. Okay.
Cool. I mean, I don't know. Is thinking about just the possibility of doing LSD someday like a really dark thought? I don't know. I think it's a thing that people ponder occasionally. You know.
Jacob,
Anyways,
it's okay to let your freak flag fly, even though it's not socially acceptable. You're allowed to let out the beast that is your mind.
You know, you're the second person to tell me that today.
What?
Maybe you should listen. Who's the first? Wait, can I ask?
Brian?
Too personal.
Brian?
Well, he didn't use those exact words, but some things were said.
Oh God!
Right, everyone in the comments encourage Jacob to release the inner darkness.
We need to get Brian on this goddamn podcast.
We do. It's never going to happen.
Mason's third question says, does this story balance action and dialogue well? If not, which way does it lean towards? It's interesting because the story is kind of split down the middle of like action and dialogue, I think. It just seems like a lot of action because the back half is almost all action.
Yeah, and the back half suffers because the back half is literally one plot point needs to happen, and in each issue, and that's it. Like, it's
Isn't Adi Granov's art pretty though?
It's fine.
Jacob, I fucking hate your Adi Granov take. Adi Granov is fucking legendary. What is wrong with you?
His thighs are so realistic in that first page with Iron Man. Though, look at his thighs.
So very thigh.
Very thigh, much wow. That was what I first noticed. I don't know if that means I like the style, but it's what I noticed. I was like, holy shit, okay.
Those are good thighs.
That's like, what the fuck is this? Like, yeah, sorry.
Look at those thighs. I don't even know what scene you're talking about. Oh yeah, I see them. Okay, yeah. Those are...
I mean, yeah, we'll get into it later, but just there's a scene where you see Iron Man's thighs. Sorry for the spoiler.
Such a big spoiler.
It's it's weirdly detailed sometimes. I'll say that. It's like I think I like it, but it's just so not what I'm used to.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. All right, time to separate the boys from the men. Question 4: rank the Iron Man movies. Now justify yourself. I think we all have different rankings, which I find.
Yeah, I have 2, 3, 1.
I have. We're going bottom to top. Okay, it goes 3, 2, 1.
For me, it goes 2, 1, 3, bottom to top. So yeah, we all have different rankings.
We do. I think if as the question suggests, I should justify myself. I mean, 1 is definitively the best. Sorry, Mason. It's just true.
Are you talking to me or the person who's stealing my identity?
Yes. I think both.
Okay,
but no, I think Iron Man, the first Iron Man movie, is just definitively one of the best MCU movies. It's not a ridiculously high bar, but it's a great film. Between 2 and 3, I pretty much rate them the same. They're both like 6 out of 10s. But I think the thing that puts 2 above 3 for me is just Jon Favreau actually has style. I think that's just.
Here's the thing. I will actually say there was a point where I thought I might like 3 more than 1.
Huh.
And then I rewatched it, and then about halfway through, a moment happens. It's like, oh right, Avengers: Age of Ultron, has just happened.
No, the first Avengers movie.
Oh fuck, you're right. This was only 2013.
Yeah. Iron Man 3 was the first MCU movie to release after the Avengers.
Yeah, you can tell at the point in production when Avengers happened, and they decide, let's change the script to add more.
Shooty bang bang. Yeah, it's.
I was gonna say there's to steal a term that I first heard from overly sarcastic productions. What's called bathos, which is that Joss Whedon-esque that parody of Joss Whedon-esque dialogue of, can you believe that just happened?
Yeah, that's fair.
And it feels like it just happens about halfway through the movie, right about the point where I can spoil Iron Man 3. The movies.
I think so. Movie's 12 years old.
Where it turns out Ben Kingsley isn't the Mandarin and is just an actor.
You know what fucking sucks? How fucking great Ben Kingsley is in the role before they fucking reveal the twist. He's so fucking good and terrifying in those fucking videos, and and then they just destroy it all. Oh my fucking god! I can't believe I'm so mad about that 12 years later.
I love it. I think it's great.
Oh,
here's the thing.
I want fear mongering.
I want my cake and I want to eat it because I like them both. Well, I like Ben Kingsley less, but that is more because again, the back half of the movie just
oh my god,
Robert Downey Jr. gets the worst of it. There's a sequence where he's God, it's a scene where he's being confronted and he's just quipping the entire time, and none of these quips feel right for where the character is in this movie at all, and it feels like
I think there is a fine line between the genuinely harrowing portrayals of panic attacks in that film and the exact thing that you're talking about, that kind of dialogue.
Yeah, no, it happens at the fucking at the halfway point. It's it was going so well. First half of the movie, I'm like, this is this one of the best MCU movies ever? Wait, no,
it's not.
No, it isn't.
No,
I'm sorry, Mason. Here's the thing.
You should be.
I do like the climax and the action of the climax. It's very fun.
Yeah, but then Guy Pearce delivers the line, "I am the Mandarin," in that exact tone, and I
again, like I said, fucking bathos.
Oh god. Anyway.
Is it my turn to justify myself?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
No,
I
I am
apologize.
actually. I mean, I don't mean this in like a. God, I'm always afraid I come across as when I ask someone like, okay, well, why do you like this thing so much? I like it comes across as mean. No, I am genuinely curious. Why do you like a thing that I could not connect with?
That's fair. No, you're good. So like, I guess to go like reverse order. So 2 is my least favorite just because I think it has the most like disjointed elements. Like some of my favorite Iron Man scenes are in that. Like the fucking race scene where like he has the briefcase. I fucking love that scene. Just him like being broken in this like slightly lighter Iron Man suit. I think it's great.
Yeah, I do like
that. I like
but
the
it's
scene
also really sexist. Like that movie is really kind of sexist.
So sexist.
Oh God, yeah, it is, isn't it? Jesus, yeah. Sorry, so I didn't. Oh yeah. I didn't.
The 2 major female characters are basically reduced to sex objects throughout the entire goddamn thing.
No, very much so.
Which is a shame because I like Scarlett Johansson as Natasha Romanoff. I think she is really underserved, like as the character throughout the entire MCU, but in that movie especially.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that Iron Man 2 just has too much going on, and like I like all of the elements, but together it's like, oh man, this feels so like. It very much feels like to me, oh, we kind of have an idea for an Iron Man 2. Oh, the first one did really fucking well. We weren't expecting that. All right, do it now. And it's like, there's so many different things that would make a great movie on its own, and it's just like all of them together, it's difficult for me. I love Iron Man 1. I think it was probably the best start the MCU could have had. My only big issue is just I think that the final act with to quote Cosmonaut Variety, our giant robot Jeff Bridges, like
I here's the thing. I agree, but I cannot possibly hate a Jeff Bridges performance if I tried.
I don't hate him in the role. I just think that it as a narrative climax to the arc is weird.
He makes that climax for me though. I love him in that finale. He's great.
I like when he yells at the kid from Christmas Story. That's my favorite part of that movie.
That's true.
But just like the entirety of him in the cave and like working with Yinsen, like I fucking love all of it. And like him testing out the Iron Man suit, like I love all of it. The third act just kind of dips for me. Like it's not the worst thing in the universe. I can still watch it, and like I like how they bring back the icing thing as like the final thing that does it. But just yeah, it's just it falls off for me. And the third one, like I love Shane Black movies, like the ones that I've seen specifically, except for the Predator one. I will admit that one's not very great.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
It really is. But just so like bad. There's so many interesting moments, and like I think the movie does have like some weirdness with being the movie right after Avengers. I don't think it's as disjointed as you guys are making it out to be. Personally, like
it's not disjointed. It's just that this switch happens.
I think there was a point in Iron Man 3's production when it was actually supposed to end with him quitting being Iron Man, and then they were like, "No, this franchise is going to go on forever." So,
well, I mean, to be fair, like I think everything about the movie, other than the very final line, suggests that to me. Because like all they had to do was do the last line of just, well, I mean, hey, I am Iron Man. Like the last scene is still him throwing the arc reactor into the ocean, along with the rest of his first 7 suits are.
But then Age of Ultron picks up, and like that whole movie never fucking happened, pretty much. So like,
oh yeah, but like I would consider that a problem with Age of Ultron and not this one.
I actually, if I may bring an observation about Iron Man 1 that I think is interesting and is actually kind of relevant. It's from Sean Franco at seanfranco.bluesky.social, who responded, I think the most interesting part of this being a Bush era MCU movie is that our hero kills brown people with bullets, and the rest of the franchise is killing faceless robots and aliens with lasers and punches. There's a huge attitude.
Was that a reply to your Letterboxd review?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. It's really interesting. And I don't think Iron Man 1 goes nearly as anti-war as it could. I think, oddly enough, I think this entire Marvel block of episodes could be Jacob and Joey try to grapple with post 9/11 Marvel comics. Like,
it's true. And you know what's fucking wild is just in general, my favorite era of Marvel comics probably is post 9/11 Marvel comics. Like, there's I don't know, there's just a great cohesion to a lot of the things that Marvel was doing at the time. But yeah, no, you can never deny that they are indeed post 9/11 comics.
But yeah, just with with the with the movie, like I like the only thing I can definitely be like that feels a bit weird is like the Iron Patriot stuff, like that.
Oh God, yeah.
I do think that's a bit disjointed, but it is nowhere near as like prevalent to like really adjust my own personal feel of the movie. I love the action. I love the scene where he's kidnapped and he has to like fight a bunch of guys with just two pieces of the Iron Man suit. It shows that the character is not just the suit, which is the whole point of the movie. It's like it's not the suit that makes him this hero person. It's the person he is. Like, and so I just like those moments where he is taken out of the suit and he has to deal with what to do after the fact, because like the whole movie starts with him being like, well, I need to fucking make a shit ton of suits because I cannot sleep because of what fucking happened to me. And it's like, okay, sure, but like how much protection is that really giving you? And I like the way the movie grapples with that. And like I have no idea if this is a fucking hot take. I like Ty Simpkins in the role of oh god, what the hell's his name? In the movie, the kid.
The kid. Okay. Oh yeah, he's good. I like him.
He's good.
I really like him.
Yeah.
But yeah,
here's the thing. One thing about the Iron Man trilogy is I hate that there are some MCU diehards who have suggested that they should make the kid from Iron Man 2 Miles Morales.
I mean, they've already made him Peter Parker.
Shit! You're right. That is
that's already like canon. Is that the kid that Iron Man?
And then they try to make there's like a kid in. Is it in Iron Man or is it in something else? A kid called Miles in an I think an MCU movie. It's like this should be Miles Morales.
I'm not sure.
Or am I thinking of Spider-Man 2?
Maybe. I have no clue what you're talking about right now.
It might be Spider-Man. Well, because in Homecoming, there is a guy who is like. Who's like, I have a nephew who's like,
Donald Glover's character. He's clearly meant to be. I think he's talking. I think he's meant to be talking about Miles in that scene. But no. God, I don't know who is there a character called Miles though in
Spider-Man 2. There's I think it's in like Spider-Man 2, directed by Sam Raimi. For like 2 seconds, just a kid, and people are like, this should be Miles Morales. And it's like, no, guys. First off, I already don't like the Iron Man 2 thing of let's make this random kid Peter Parker. Like,
I don't. Yeah, like, it is weird, but like, I don't know if I can say too much on it, because I had not heard that at all, other than when you had brought it up, so I don't know how big of a thing this is.
This isn't... It is... What, the Iron Man 2 thing?
No, the Miles Morales thing.
Okay, gotcha.
I had heard about the Spider-Man thing. Like, yeah, that is. I do think that a bit strange.
Yeah,
but yeah.
All right. I hate to say this though, because this non-spoiler section is almost 45 minutes long.
Yeah, this is going along.
We should keep this going. 5, is Tony Stark a hero in this comic? Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, he's a hero, I guess.
What is a hero?
The reluctance there is my answer.
Are you going to give me the Brendan Lee Mulligan? A hero is. Oh God! I can't remember that monologue.
Well, that's on you. 6, Mason. If you're reading this, I'm long dead. You are the only one left to complete the prophecy. I've left a secret message for you in the next episode of Fresh Face Comics. Watch this space. Mason, any thoughts on that?
Are we gonna get like a 3-episode Mason battles with himself arc? I guess.
Wait. Hold on.
Yeah, that is the final question he submitted, Mason. I'm not sure what it means, but it kind of seems like you would know what it means.
I don't, but I get. Wait,
are you okay, Mason?
I am feeling uncomfortable. Like
that's probably just some indigestion.
Yeah. You know what? You're probably right. It's
sure
probably nothing.
I'm sure
there won't be any. Yeah, I'm sure there won't be anything next time. Anyways, we should move on.
Yeah, exactly. Before we move on, though, of course, we do have some fresh-faced correspondence.
We do?
Correspondence. on our last episode for Captain America: Red Menace, we have 2 comments on that. First from our friend Marcus, a longtime friend of the podcast, says, listening to this breakdown, there was a sort of quote-unquote adapted material you could have done for this episode. The infamous 1990 movie, the one where Red Skull isn't a Nazi, but an Italian fascist. I've never seen that, actually. I've always wanted to watch it. I've never taken the time to do so. Could be a fun commentary, I think. Would be a lot of fun. Another comment from our friend Jamie, a longtime friend of the podcast, obviously. Oh God, Warren Ellis, then Mark Millar. Are the Knopf brothers shitty in a different third way? Which is, I think, my favorite comment we've ever gotten.
In a different shitty
like
third way. Secret third thing. I hope not.
And not as far as I know. So I think we're in the clear for now. But who the hell knows? I guess. Oh man. All right. Well, I think that about does that. At long last, I think it's time to jump into some spoilers. Everyone consider this your official spoiler warning. If you have not read Iron Man Extremis and you are not sticking around for the rest of this episode, you already know what's coming next. We're covering more Iron Man. It'll be Execute Program next time, and afterwards we're doing some Civil War. Going to be a lot of fun. Cannot wait for our upcoming episodes. As always, I'll leave Amazon links to the descriptions in the description below of books that we cover today and books we're covering next time, as well as the link to that charity that Jacob mentioned earlier. Check all those things out, as well as links to our socials, Blue Skies, etc. Everything will be down there. It's a lovely little description that I put together every time, and I don't know if people look at it. So, all right. I think that about does it. Let's jump into spoilers. Honestly, the spoiler section might just be shorter than the non-spoiler section.
It's possible.
That would be very funny.
It could happen. It could happen. I could actually see it happening.
I could go fuck off.
Here's the terrible problem. I only have 3 pages of notes.
What is your average? How many pages do you take of notes, Jacob?
Oh, for your standard 6 issues, it's usually like 4 to 5.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, realistically, that's not that much less.
It's usually about half a page. Here's the thing. It's usually about half a page to anywhere from half a page to a page on an issue, depending on the issue. Like, I don't have many notes on like the back half of this book because
That's fair.
It's a lot of action.
But right now we're in the first half of the book with Iron Man number 1. This is Iron Man Extremis number 1 of 6.
Yeah.
Also, this is like a massive relaunch of the book. Like,
oh yeah,
I feel bad for marketing, like whoever was marketing this, because massive relaunch, and this did not come out monthly, like at all.
Buy some Iron Man eventually.
Eventually, yeah. But yeah, so I will say,
wasn't that just our experience with Batman: The Winning Card, though, Jacob?
Oh my god! Well, hey, no. At least that book was coming out and was doing interesting stories because it was an anthology book. Like, this would be infinitely worse because
there were still large lengths of time when we were just waiting for the next part of The Winning Card, though.
Because Mitch Gerrits could not finish that art.
It's always a fucking art thing. There's always some amazing artists that because their art is so fucking good, they can't get shit in on time.
I like the idea of like it being 2005 and being like, will Iron Man get crushed by this car? Find out in 6 months.
Dude, here's the thing. Like,
and in an issue that's going to take you 5 minutes to fucking read.
Exactly, yeah.
Like,
amazing.
This was one of those things. So the first issue premiered like in November 2004. Second issue came out the next month in December. Issue 3 came out then in April 2005.
Not terrible, realistically.
Issue 4 came out in August 2005.
Little worse.
Yeah.
Issue 5 came out in January 2006.
Oh, shit.
Jesus Christ.
That's bad.
And issue 6 came out at the end, March 29th, 2006.
Could have been worse to stick the landing.
Yeah.
Could have been worse. Here's the thing. Like, literally 2 weeks later, issue 7 came out. Like,
Yeah.
They were probably like, we gotta actually do this thing, because by that point, I imagine it's like, Oh yeah, no. Issue 7, the cover has a big Road to Civil War thing on it. Like
Yep.
it's like we're building up to Civil War, guys. Like,
Big time. All right. But
right.
yeah, so this story actually opens though with a guy getting injected with some mystery drug that clearly we do not know what it is and what it is called, and clearly nothing in the pop culture zeitgeist has informed us on what this possibly could be, right?
I still have no idea. I didn't read the book.
Oh, that's right. That's why it took you so little time, is that you just didn't bother to read it.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
it's fine. I'll just read the Wikipedia article, and like all of the issues were like all of the descriptions said like will be filled in later. So I'm just like, I'm assuming that's what happened.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the story hasn't actually been finished yet. The issues came out, but they were all blank pages.
They were all blank pages.
Issue 6 still hasn't come out. It's been 20 years.
Amazing.
No, but like, I will say, evocative opening, good opening.
It is.
Oh, very good. I love it.
Very good introduction to Tony. Then very good introduction to Tony Stark in literally one page.
Yeah.
Showing him sleeping on a cot in his workshop.
Mm-hmm.
You can also tell it's 2004 because he's got a flip phone. Like,
It's true.
Yeah. So Tony Stark is burning out. Like,
isn't he always?
Yeah, he's not doing too well.
Well, is he always? Is that the standard state for his character in the comics?
I mean, he's always going through like some shit that is causing him to just completely crash and burn. So this is the least in that line of thinking. Although actually, now that I think about it, because I have not read the comics that immediately preceded this could be the first of its kind. It's just always been this way since. Tony Stark is always a disaster. So there's that. But yeah, so he wakes up, is going through it, gets up, gets ready for work, essentially, and then we go over to Austin, Texas, at a place called Future Farm, where a guy prints out some papers on the thing called Extremis, and then shoots himself in the face. So there's your guy killing himself, Jacob. Just this isn't the president. So
I like his last words are interesting. Just like, I've never been in love, never. No one's ever loved me. Bang! Like, holy shit!
So relatable.
I will. Yeah, sorry, go on.
He also has no chin.
I mean, that's why he's never had anyone love him.
Jacob, is that a Preacher reference?
Maybe.
Yes, I knew it. I love it.
I hate it.
You know what he's talking about, though.
Yes, I do. I do, sadly. So, here's the interesting. This guy was Killian, aka the main villain of Iron Man 3. Like,
I am the Mandarin. That guy.
He dies. He's killed.
Yeah, he dies.
Here's the thing: Guy Pearce has a chin, though. Like,
Guy Pearce has a great fucking chin. Guy Pearce is a great fucking actor. I do not like him in that movie, though.
I love him. I think he's great.
Oh God, I don't know, man. I can't.
I will say so after this, we have Dr. Hansen coming in, and I think her reaction to seeing this guy shot is really funny. She just stands there and goes, "Oh no."
I think the implication is always that like she kind of like saw this coming in a way. Like there was just the work is bad. They're up to some things. She sees this and like and takes his letter. And
he gave the Extremis dose to someone. So Extremis is a pharmaceutical thing.
The most dangerous needle in a haystack. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He couldn't be more specific.
He couldn't be a little more. Here's the thing: some of this is good writing. It's the problem of everyone's seen Iron Man 3, so we know what.
Jacob, this is 2004. Nobody's seen Iron Man 3.
No, but this is one of those things where, in retrospect, a mystery doesn't quite work because it's entered.
Yeah, I mean, we also just recently covered Captain America: Winter Soldier. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Tony Stark International is being protested.
Mm-hmm. Tony Stark is being interviewed then by a guy making a documentary.
Can you tell that 9/11 has happened and Warren Ellis rightfully doesn't like the invasion in Iraq? Like, can you tell?
Yeah,
can you tell?
It's great. This guy is interviewing him for his documentary called "Ghosts of the 20th Century," which I think is just it's interesting. It's a great little scene. I really do. I like this scene a lot. As he begins asking him about Stark weaponry being used over in the Middle East. Essentially, again, anyone that is familiar with the MCU will know what this plot thread is. It's great. There's a reason that things like this get adapted pretty much directly.
There's a reason this got adapted into Iron Man 1, because it's like, hey, yeah, Ellis basically saw. So, well, okay. This is sort of, I guess, the latest in a long line of let's reflect on 9/11, because this is just after the event Disassembled, which I think is a big 9/11 reflection. In some ways.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's tricky. We'll talk about it eventually.
Eventually, this is a Bendis event, isn't it? Right?
Yes. Yeah. Disassembled is a Bendis thing, and it's the backdoor pilot for the new Avengers. So.
One of these days, we're going to have to read something by Brian Michael Bendis, and I'm going to have to actually form an opinion on the man, because
it's kind of like reading Jeff Johns' Justice League. Like, we pretty much need to do New Avengers someday, because it's so essential to understanding so much early 2000s Marvel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's once again, there's the Marvel problem of everything is canon and it all matters.
Yeah.
So, I really like this interview.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best sequences in the book, honestly.
Yeah.
I would agree.
It lays out who Tony is, the inner conflict of, fuck, am I a weapon? Like, am I responsible? And it's like, yes, you are.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, I guess for you both as people that are familiar with the MCU version of Tony Stark, the matter of secret identities comes up here. In that Tony Stark actually has one in the comics.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I had heard this at some point.
Mm-hmm. The cover story.
I had thought it would have been dropped by the 2000s, because
no way.
It's kind of like, there's a reason it's lampshaded in the MCU. Like.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of silly.
Yeah. The identity is essentially that Iron Man is a bodyguard that works for Stark Industries, and the suit was built by Tony Stark, genius, billionaire guy. That it's great.
Here's the thing. That idea is a 100% Stan Lee idea.
It's it's there from the very beginning of the character, and
it works. Here's the thing: it works in the Silver Age, and it probably works into the Bronze Age. But I think as time goes on, it becomes more and more ridiculous as like the tone of comics changes.
Yeah, I mean, I also just, I don't know. I like when superheroes have secret identities.
Oh no, I like secret identities, but it's a secret identity that is just this should not surprise anybody. Like, it's like the dots are staring you in the face, and not in a Clark Kent Superman kind of way.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is just me, like, not reading a lot of, but it's always like a veil that I read these stories in. Like, there's always the level of like, really, no one's fucking figured this shit out, but it's like, whatever. Like, to me, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, it's not. It's
but I don't know why. I don't know why this one bothers me though. Like, I don't know.
I think it's literally just your familiarity with the MCU version of the character.
That's very possible.
Yeah, because like I will say I did notice it more than I have in the past because of mine. Like, it was here where I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I guess like secret identity.
Yeah, yeah. And it is worth noting, of course, we're covering Civil War soon, which is the big, superheroes and secret identities. What is the relationship between them?
Right. I
Oh
forget.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true, isn't it?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, scene happens. We then see actually
Well, in the middle of it, we get a flashback to Iron Man's origin, or the then current version of Iron Man's origin. Because I imagine.
So much better than his original origin. So
Okay,
much
what was
better.
his original origin? Was
Jacob,
it?
Jacob, it's just
I don't know.
ridiculously racist. It is just ridiculously racist. You do not need it. Trust me. This is
Oh,
good.
no.
Accept this one for what it is and just move on.
Was it? Please tell. Was it Vietnam? Was it Vietnam?
It was Vietnam. It was so bad.
Oh, that's.
Jacob,
Oh,
you
God.
don't want it. You don't want
here's
it.
the thing.
Trust me.
Oh,
There's
no.
already some implications here with Iraq and doing post Bush, but I think
Mhm.
Ellis is smart enough to try to thread the needle of, again, Tony is in the wrong and is trying to be like, oh, maybe we shouldn't sell weapons.
Oh, 100%.
Maybe we have an
yeah.
actual responsibility.
But trust me, you do not want the '60s origin. It's so bad.
I don't trust Stan Lee to be.
Oh yeah, and the drawings, dude. The drawings.
I imagine there's a lot of yellow.
Oh,
I imagine
God.
there's a lot of yellow.
So bad. I will send you
no,
pictures.
I didn't even think of that.
It's so bad.
Oh no.
It's so bad. Anyway, but back to this.
Yeah, this one's better. I like this one more.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. Yeah, talk about.
I love this subconscious detail of Tony sketching out an Iron Man suit while in this interview.
Mhm.
And I like the question of we get it's in a different context here. It's not in a Senate hearing, but is the Iron Man suit a military device? And it's like, yes, it is. It is, Tony. You can't say that it isn't. You're a superhero.
Who works for the government? Like it's or does deals with them. A great many weaponry deals with them.
Weaponry deals with the Bush administration.
Yes, and the fact that you use Iron Man separated from the government for now, is doesn't necessarily negate that Iron Man is still another weapon in your arsenal. It's Tony Stark is a flawed character, and we love it. You love to see it. But I do like the way this ends, though. It's this interview of Tony saying why am I a ghost of the 20th century? And the guy says because your arms work of the 90s still hunts the poverty and war-stricken countries they were deployed in. And it's Tony actually being faced with this reality, and it's a lot of the story is Tony actually coming to terms with all that. And I like that. I just like to see that.
Yeah. Who this interview, whose voice I had for this this interviewer in my mind while reading? David Warner.
Jacob, we give so many comic characters the voice of David Warner, and
look, David Warner has a great fucking voice, man.
Visually, I could see it too. I could see the resemblance there.
He looks like it.
He looks like 80s David Warner.
He does. Yeah. There's another character that I can't wait to talk about what voice I have in my head for it coming up soon. Anyway, but no, we then get a glimpse of the aftermath of the Extremis virus.
And it's
I love this part so much. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's cool body horror shit.
Yeah.
Actively rewriting DNA. It looks Lovecraftian in a way.
Adi Granov, man, dude gets it. It's good art. That's another thing. It is a dialogueless scene, and it's just 3 panels showing you the details of this deformed body here. And it's just the art telling the story. It's good shit. I love it.
But Tony Stark exiles himself to the basement, where
we get once again Adi Granov putting the work in with this amazing Iron Man suit.
I like it. It looks so cool.
Another big difference for people that are mostly familiar with the MCU is there's no just automated putting this on. He has to do this all manually, put it all on himself. But I think it just makes for a cool visual
with this this interesting interface. a really interesting interface. And then I think Ellis sets up the sort of the important delineation that people think of Iron Man as a cool hero, which is again really interesting because it's an interesting parallel of superheroes are cool and meant to protect people, even though I would be, Iron Man would be a superhero where I wouldn't have him be like the ideal protector hero because he's Iron Man and Tony Stark is a capitalist. But it's an interesting.
This is also just for me as someone that's read a lot of Silver Age Iron Man since the time before. When I first read this, this is also my first Iron Man comic. But I've read a lot of Silver Age in between then and now, and revisiting the scene is kind of fun because this is kind of a modern version of the scene that Stan Lee would always fucking write, where Iron Man happens to leave the office of Tony Stark, and everyone's like, "Wow, it's a good thing Iron Man is protecting us, and it's a good thing he's the bodyguard of Tony Stark."
Stark.
It's always so funny. This just feels like an evolution of that, and I really love it. But yeah, we then flashback. We get a flashback. We get to see this is about the this is the early relationship between Tony and Maya. Flashing back to their first meeting with each other, as in the present, Maya is contacting Tony to.
It's really interesting that past Tony Stark isn't as much of a womanizer, isn't presented as much of a womanizer here.
It's true.
Like that.
Yeah.
Is that just a Robert Downey Jr. thing? Like,
no, it was definitely no, because there's from the very early version of the character, Stanley always made Tony Stark a playboy. No, I think that was always sort of part of the character. A little less important to this particular story. So yeah, it's usually, I should say, kind of there. So.
Yeah, and like, I mean, I think the big thing about this flashback is like they're at a bar drinking, and the fact that Tony is like a recovering alcoholic will come up a lot in the coming.
And I imagine this flashback is to a point where he wasn't a recovering alcoholic; he was just an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Like we see him drinking there. So
yeah. Maya contacts Tony. She wants his help. I gotta always my mind just always has to do these sort of mental gymnastics whenever I see a scene like this, and Tony is talking to someone on the phone inside the Iron Man suit, and I'm like, what does that sound like to we get a version of that in the MCU, but it's in a scene where it's in a scene where like Rhodey is very much onto Tony being a part of this somehow. Like it's
like what the hell are you driving with the windows down? What the hell's happening? Like,
yeah, but like no, these scenes happen all the fucking time. It's like
and also these are 2004 phones. They can't you don't have noise canceling headphones with 2004 phones.
Yeah, it's very strange, very very strange. But yeah, no. Tony flies off into the sky to help Maya, and we see once more the after effects of the Extremis virus. We see someone surviving it, essentially. Again,
with these blood red eyes and these blood red teeth and just scabs all over their body, saying "I am alive," and that is the perfect ending for an issue.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Because here's the thing. I love a lot of Adi Granos body horror.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of his normal scenes that I struggle with for whatever reason, and I don't know why.
I think you're wrong.
My notes are like, is it because it looks kind of like a video game? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Because here's the thing: like, Adi Granos kind of does the thing that appeals to me about Mikkel Hannon's art, which is always like it feels like there's a definitive version of this character being drawn. You know, like. Because it's not as stylized as certain other comic artists, I think there's something appealing about the slightly more realistic nature of the art that I'm looking at.
I don't. Mason, have you mentioned the art yet? What do you give me your takes?
A little bit. It's like because it's definitely weird. Like it's not what I'm used to. I think the detail when it's things that aren't just normal people talking, I think that's when it like sticks out to me the most, like when it's the Iron Man suit or like even like the stylized flashbacks I think are really interesting. But like, I think it works really well for the body horror. It's not that I don't like it. I'm just really not used to it. It's just like it's a style that it's almost more glossy than I'm used to. Like it's like I don't even know how to describe it. It I can kind of get what you mean with like video gamey, just in the way that it's like it just has like a trend.
I wonder if it's possible. Well, wait, you read this digitally.
Yes, I did.
I read it physically. I was wondering if it could be the print stock or the digital version.
I have read both. When I first read it, I did the digital version, and when I did this reread for the podcast, I've read the physical version.
No, but like the original issues would be printed on a different type of paper.
Jacob, I'm gonna send you a screenshot of what the final panel issue looks like on my end.
See, my point is that like even like the type of paper art is printed on can change the way the art looks.
No, we're talking 2004. The paper wouldn't have been that different from what you're reading from right now, Jacob.
It wouldn't have been like newsprint?
No, not in 2004.
Interesting.
No.
Interesting.
No. Jacob, buy some physical single issues, Jacob. Come on.
Hey.
Go to a comic shop.
I was going to say, Joey, give it a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Because there may actually have a couple of options.
Get me on a video call when you have your first comic shop experience, please.
I think that's a great idea. Here, wait, can I join too? I also want to be there. I won't shout anything that'll make you embarrassed, I promise.
That would be a great video, wouldn't it?
Jacob goes to the comic
Would you two like to come to the city I live in and help me move?
I'm busy that day.
I'm sure. Oh yeah, now that I think about it so much.
But Joey, you get to meet my family.
Can I yell?
I'm no longer busy that day. I'll be there. I'm ready. Let's do it.
anyway, this is a tangent. We
Iron Man number two. Yes, we have a scene where the people at Stark International are yelling at Tony for being a bad boss because he never shows up to meetings. So there's that.
I mean, he really is a billionaire.
He is. We then have Tony beating up with Maya. She goes to like show him some of her work, and they go.
Hold on, real quick, just on the meeting. I like this thing of we just invented the best cell phone on earth. We don't need military money anymore. And he holds up a fucking BlackBerry. Like it's so 2005.
Hey, the BlackBerry was a genuinely great phone.
In hindsight, it's so funny to me.
They were just immediately outpaced in the market by Apple, and
yeah.
Probably by the time this story finished releasing it, the BlackBerry.
I mean, I don't think the iPhone would have been released, but Apple was definitely working on it in 2006. Because I think the iPhone released in 2007.
Yeah, I think. I don't know, but yeah, just like in retrospect, I thought that was funny. But yeah, we can.
It is very funny.
But yeah, so Tony and Maya, they meet up. They decide to go to see an old friend of theirs.
Well, we got to explain that like this guy stole my project, and now he's dead. And it's like, well, let's go see Sal.
I love Sal, you guys.
And like now we're gonna get one of the most interesting sequences in the book.
Oh god, I love this guy. I love this guy so much. First off, he's fun as hell, but also genuinely fascinating scene. Okay,
I gotta ask Joey, whose voice did you hear? This
seems like you do. This is who I was talking about. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys know who Peter Stormare is?
You've told me about Peter Stormare before, but Jacob, my brain is drawing a fucking blank.
I probably mentioned him to you in the context of the Keanu Reeves Constantine movie, in that Peter Stormare is the only good thing about it.
Right, that's it. Yeah.
But I adore Peter Stormare. I specifically because I replayed Until Dawn recently, and he plays the therapist character in that, and he's going to be playing that character again in the movie, which is the only reason I might see the movie. Anyway, he's got a fantastic voice, and I'm pretty sure Sal is supposed to be like from New Zealand or something, right? Like I think they mentioned that at some point.
Or Australia.
Australia, that's right. That's what they say. It was one of the two.
I think his house is full of stolen Aboriginal artifacts.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be. But in my head, I'm just hearing Peter Stormare talking like this half the time, and it's just he's so good. I love him. Yeah. Anyway, we go to see Sal. And Sal, that was an old friend of theirs. Old colleague friend of theirs.
And you know what? The rest of this issue parallels this. Oddly enough, I know you said he plays a therapist in Until Dawn, or Peter Stormare does, but this is basically therapy, like kind of with the action of the guy with Extremis going in, clearly now having superpowers of some sort, and burning down the is it the FBI? I think it's like the FBI, like, and killing a bunch of people.
And yeah, it is.
And the issue closes on this like, it's like, what did you do? It's like the guy sees in a van with it. It's like, what did I do? I just started. Now, there are other things I do want to talk about on this issue. I'd like to actually talk about the entire like therapy sequence, because it's
because a lot of the conversation is in relation to Extremis. It is Sal sort of reckoning with Maya and Tony, in a way, being monsters, like in what they do, in what they create, no matter how well intentioned, can be monstrous. That it can grow out of their hands, and that they kind of have to reckon with that themselves. And it's a great fucking sequence. I really, really love it. That's kind of the dynamic of like every scene they're in together, and it's really great.
There's this great line of, "You two are going to your graves with the epitaph almost useful."
Like,
oh yes,
it's this great idea where it's like, also Sal is like someone to drop psychedelics.
Yes.
He is
speaking of LSD.
he is a hippie.
Oh, is it really? I
Yes.
didn't know that. That makes sense. That makes a lot more sense. Jacob, it is 11:30 right now for me.
I understand. It is late.
I will say,
it is late.
Like up until he actually goes into it, like the very first line where it's like, so what have you been doing? And then his response is, oh, drugs, cooking them, doing them. Like, it very much felt like the writer had no fucking idea how LSD actually works. Like, and then after that, it's like, okay, the comparisons do make sense, but it's just like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, being gay, thinking about men, going and then doing those men subsequently. It's like, okay, yeah, you don't know how this works, do you?
Yeah.
Like, bro's never done LSD. It's fine.
I think Warren Ellis might be a bit straight-laced, and he's trying to write a hippie. Because, there's some weirdness of, like, he doesn't own a TV, but he owns an iPhone or an iPod. Like,
yeah, that's weird.
Like, he can listen to Grateful Dead.
We could be talking. These contradictions could be intentional contradictions. I'm not entirely sure.
Could be.
I'm gonna be honest. This is a book where a lot of the commentary is surface deep, and that's fine. Like,
yeah, it's
fine. It's obvious.
Yeah.
It's a good, solid book. If I had to give it a score, it is a 7 out of 10. It is good. I enjoyed it.
7 out of 10.
I can understand why this got popular. This is very much I can understand why this story got popular and why a lot of the best ideas in it were used. In some ways, more efficiently, especially the reckoning with weapons dealing in Iron Man 1, I think was used almost more efficiently here.
That's fair.
At least in terms of an internal character arc, but that's part of that is also because Iron Man 1 is an origin story, so like it feels immediate. Like, like Ellis tries to posit Tony's experiences in the Middle East as the come to Jesus moment, so to speak, but it doesn't work, and it just doesn't work because, well, Iron Man's an established hero who has a history of, at this point, 40 plus years ish.
But I'm assuming you meant to say Favreau does the.
No. Ellis does it. Ellis tries to do it as like the beginnings of a come to Jesus moment.
Oh, I mean,
later on in this book.
Later on, but yeah, that's more in like Tony's memory of that moment.
Yeah, and it doesn't quite work as well as Favreau doing it because.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, because Favreau doesn't have to reckon with a character's 40-year history in his film, whereas Ellis does. Yeah. Is my point. I hope I'm making sense. It's late.
And I'm the one in the latest time zone right now. I bet you guys are so happy. Anyway, so kicking off Iron Man number 3. Tony and Maya. You can just see how exhausted these guys are, just like having to deal with everything going to shit because of Maya. And how she is directly responsible for this. And Tony is willing to help her stop this guy that is now.
This is where we actually get the explanation as to what Extremis is. Mm-hmm. It is a super soldier serum that, and I quote, "It hacks the body's repair center, the part of the brain that keeps a complete blueprint of the human body. When we're injured, we refer to that area of the brain in order to heal properly. Extremis rewrite the repair center. In the first stage, the entire body essentially becomes an open wound." Some fantastic fucking body horror in these panels,
it's
guys.
So good, I love it.
Oh yeah, it's very cool.
Iron Man 3 wishes it went this cool with the body horror.
Instead they make these guys look like, I don't know, burning Tron people.
Here's the thing. I get it. I feel like this level of body horror translated to live action would get an R.
Yeah, exactly.
It would get an R rating. I am not going to be like, because we could.
It doesn't change the fact that Iron Man 3 doesn't have the sauce to do this, but I still get why.
That is not what I was implying, Joey.
You are asleep and vulnerable. I could kill you right now.
But Jacob, it's true.
No, it's not.
It's true. Iron Man 3 does not have the sauce to do this. Come on.
It very well could have.
To be fair, I feel like in the world of like actual criticisms to have against Iron Man 3, I feel like not enough body horror is pretty low on the list.
It's true, but like also like I don't know, I just don't dig the vibe of just, I don't know, they kind of burn a little bit when they're on Extremis. Like I don't know, it doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah. So getting us back on track. One thing I think is interesting is that, again, Extremis is a very personal story for Tony Stark. Like, the supporting characters I would associate with Iron Man, based entirely on the film, mainly Rhodey and Pepper,
and
are just not. Oh yeah, Happy is a comics character. Is Happy
the trifecta of Iron Man characters originally was Tony, Happy, and Pepper.
Oh, that's right, because Rhodey would have come in like the 70s and not.
Oh yeah, wait. Do you really think Stan Lee created Rhodey? Come on.
No, I didn't. I just, for good reason. Well, I mean, not for. Stan Lee tried to be progressive, and he often.
But also, Iron Man's origin issue exists, and multiple issues after that,
and some other stuff in other comics Stan Lee has written.
So many.
Even in stuff that we've covered on the podcast in our Spider-Man episodes occasionally.
It's true. Not as much in Spider-Man. To be
not fair, as much.
I think Spider-Man is, because maybe the fact that Spider-Man has stood the test of time is maybe the fact that there's not as much racist shit in there as there is in other Stan Lee comics.
There is some sexist shit. There's some sexist shit,
but certainly not as much racist shit.
But yeah, so it's interesting that Tony is on his own. So he's like, yeah, I'm going to send Iron Man to help you, and I'm going to go because, yeah, because again.
I mean, it's worth noting that an experiment like Extremis has some direct correlations to Tony Stark as a character. It's a reason it's a story so personal to him is because it is a story about Extremis is a virus, if you will, that is meant to better the body, and Tony Stark is consistently a broken man from the very creation of Iron Man.
He is a disabled character.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's I don't know. I like that parallel that Ellis draws. So we have Tony leaving, preparing the Iron Man suit. We have another flashback then. Oh yeah, to the guy that is infected with Extremis, his childhood.
This is another great reaction thing to me. Just the kid's face of just, oh fuck, I didn't know they were gonna kill people.
Yeah, I find it interesting that Ellis feels the need to give this guy a backstory, because I gotta be honest, I just don't think he needs one.
So part of me honestly wonders if Ellis was intending to be on the book longer than he was. Like,
possible.
It's possible, because I read out the dates on when this thing was published. I think the entire creative team essentially got fired, because it's not good for business to have your monthly comic book take so many long breaks without publishing.
Yeah.
Especially for Marvel in the early 2000s, pre-MCU, when Marvel Comics ain't doing so hot.
Yeah.
Marvel filed for bankruptcy in the 90s, I think. That was sold off their big characters to studios so they could get movies made and get some money. And they wouldn't become financially viable again, really, until the MCU completely. Now, that isn't to say, desperately, to make money, they need these books to sell. And they need these books to come out monthly, so they can actually get people to buy them. So that's a problem when you have so many delays. Even a month's delay. That's a problem.
Yeah. Anyway, Extremis guy has a backstory, and it lasts for 2 pages.
It's kind of tragic. Not necessary for
It doesn't necessarily make you feel for the character, especially given a certain scene with him coming up soon. But
and the rest of this is essentially the first meeting between Iron Man and
Extremis Man.
Does
he have a name?
His name is his last name is Malin.
Good for him. Good for Mr. Mellon.
I like a lot of the action.
It's so good. Adi Grana crushes it. You get a great fight scene between this guy and Iron Man.
It is almost dialogueless.
Yeah, almost entirely.
Very few panels, especially towards the end. It's 2, 4, 4.
Yeah. I would be curious to see Mason's reaction to Superman number 75.
I would be curious to see Superman's reaction to Mason's reaction to the entire death of Superman.
What is Superman's reaction to Superman number 75?
What is Superman? What is Superman's reaction to Mason, just in general? What is the last thing?
What is the last thing that Superman sees before he dies? Mason.
Does he talk about me? I mean, I kind of want to ask about, but I don't want to do it without knowing that he oh gosh, come on, tell me. Does he talk about me, guys? Come on. The bit's over. I'll stop now. We can go back to the comic.
And so this fight eventually leads up to this guy about to throw a car at Iron Man, which is a bit of a weak cliffhanger, but it does bring us into Iron Man number 4, however many months later.
I believe. Let's see.
This is the longest gap, wasn't it?
4 months.
Yeah.
June, July, August.
I think between 4 and 5 would have been the longest, actually.
That is a better cliffhanger to leave on.
Yeah. The gaps just keep getting longer and longer
until the last
one, right?
Yeah. The 5 to 6 is only 3 months, but
still, why is it 3 months? Come on.
Let's be honest. There's probably an argument to be made that issue 6's art was rushed because it's we've already got possibly issue 7 and 8 ready to go, and we need to move on. So get this out.
But essentially, we open up Iron Man number 4. Iron Man does a little chest beam to take this guy out.
I'll say they didn't I like that we remember that there are people in this car.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
That Iron Man actually does like take the time to save when he knocks this guy down. Like it's cool. I like that.
Because he is vaguely a hero.
Yeah. But then like Iron Man gets like trapped under this car, and there are like these flames going towards it, and so the family is still like in danger inside the car.
Melon just kind of leaves because it's like, well, I have all the time in the world. I'm gonna go.
Yeah. But yeah. Iron Man is saved. But that's an important moment I think as well, is that Iron Man has to be saved. By like some firefighters here and some police here. Maya's there to meet up with Tony, who she learns, well, I guess is actually Tony. She learns that Tony is there, that Tony Stark is Iron Man, as he reveals his identity to her. His life is now in Maya's hands.
And it's also like, hey, you should give me the Extremis dose. You should give me the Extremis dose so I can be a better Iron Man. Crazy. And it's like, no, that's insane.
Well, I mean, and like I did notice it whenever we were looking back, but like we almost had foreshadowing to this where he was talking to the like priority A1. It's like, testing the superhero potential of the Extremis virus. Like, to me, that in retrospect, that's very much him being like, okay, what's the what's the goodness that could come out of this? When it's not like this crazy, insane, I'm gonna blow up the FBI thing or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like it's not like we've done a nuclear bomb or anything. Basically, made people nuclear bombs.
I actually will ask: is the I don't know if this is maybe a later on in the comic question, but do we think that the implication is that Extremis is not what is making these people bad? It is just happenstance that the person who got the Extremis virus was not.
I think that's the point. I think that's
the
point.
Well, yeah, especially with the scene that we're about to get here right after Maya and Tony get to work, because we get the scene then with our Extremis man and this young girl who seems to be hitchhiking. She seems to be an activist, if you could say that, by the shirt she is wearing, which is, I shit you not, I'm going to describe this out loud, an American flag with instead of stars in the blue field there's just a swastika.
I think it's hard to see. I think it also has lettering saying America KKKA, which So
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't notice that either.
Here's the thing. I think that's what I think, and honestly hope that's what it says, because then that makes the scene actually make a lot of sense.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the implication is that this is a person wearing a shirt that's trying to say America is bad and racist and swastika.
and let's be honest, is rightly so. And let's be honest, for a comic that was written in 2004, I say written in 2004, even though it was released in 2005. It's a good swing to take. It's outright engaging with the Bush administration and American imperialism, which it's not the only book to be doing this. At the time from Marvel,
and
especially when what's interesting is DC. Interestingly, I don't think always. I think DC was in its own different way, because I think that's where you get a lot of the President Lex stuff, and that was a lot of. I'd argue that's as far as from what I know about President Lex Luthor. That's a lot of engaging with post-Bush or post-9/11 Bush administration politics.
I like hearing Jacob say Bush. And so we get Mr. Sorry, we get Mr. Extremis man. Mr. Extremis man. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'll just say real quick. Yes, I completely agree with I guess the political statement. My problem here is that I don't know if I believe that this character would openly wear a swastika.
Yeah, it's strange. I mean,
it's
I suppose there have been weirder. I suppose there have been weirder protests, but no, I think you're right. It's so strange.
It was just a weird moment where it's
I think the problem might be is we are all too young to know about Bush era protests. Like,
yeah, that's fair. That's
like,
fair.
I have a feeling that this
potentially
is
fair.
I have a feeling this is a thing that hasn't aged well, not for like necessarily problematic reasons, but for we no longer have the context in which this is being used.
Yeah.
If I'm being
That is
charitable, because
Well, I mean, because the scene also spells itself out then, because it's Mr. Extremis, man. He gets
who is a white supremacist? Like,
he gets all pissy at this. He's like, "Oh, is that how you see America?" And then the next thing you know, this woman doesn't have a head anymore.
he outright says regular white folks built this country without government or spies or regulations or people with badges who kill your family for fun. And I'm like, okay, so let's be honest. Okay, I'm gonna spell it out for those in our audience who don't know. Take that and take the exact opposite. This country was built by not white people with a lot of regulation. The regulation of slavery. Involved forced labor. A very tyrannical government in a lot of places, especially in the South, and in different ways in the North. And, like, people with... Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like, this is a white supremacist villain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's and like again the politics I think are like I agree with the fact of like having a scene where a person is openly like arguing against this. I think that's like the only thing that was weird to me was just the fact that she had a swastika on her shirt.
Yeah,
like
it's weird, but
it's literally just that. Yeah.
I'm also gonna say like. Reading it is the more things change, the more they stay the same, because it feels like Ellis is like, well, I have to spell this out because fashion. Well, to appropriate a quote by Jean-Paul Sartre, by existentialist philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre, and quote it terribly. Just know that their standpoint is ridiculous, and they know that they are liars. That's kind of the point. Everybody read Sartre's work on anti-Semitism. Says it is a great way to understand how fascism works. Like they know. So Alice is like, no, I have to outright say it. No, this is the problem. I'm just going to outright say it and not try to weasel around it and weasel towards respectability without ever quite entirely crossing the line into the edgier side of things that, say, writers like Garth Ennis will go into.
Mm-hmm. And like Garth Ennis has a lot of scenes like this in his work.
Ennis is just they're just usually edgier.
Much more confrontational, let's say.
Yes.
But also, I mean, this is also another one of those weird time capsule things where it's like this comic was published. Well, this issue was published 20 years ago. I mean, just imagine getting cleared to draw a character with an American flag with a swastika on it, in a regular ass general audience's issue.
I think this was at the point where Marvel stopped submitting their stuff to the Comics Code Authority. This was around that time where they're like, "Yeah, we're just not going to do it anymore."
Anyway, we should move on from this scene. He kills the girl, and it's actually a pretty graphic image of her just with no head and a splatter of blood beneath her. It's a lot. Anyway, so Maya injects Tony with the Extremis, and
we get the summation of Tony's philosophy of "I'm just a guy in an iron suit," which is this image that keeps coming up, and I kind of wish it was explicitly made in the MCU too. I think that would help Iron Man 2 and 3 a little bit by having that philosophy. But yeah, Tony's injected in with Extremis, and it looks like he might be dead. Bum bum bum. Actually, really effective cliffhanger.
Great cliffhanger.
I love it. Yeah.
But God, look at the cover for Iron Man #5. Iron Man with a chica with their arm wrapped around.
I was gonna say my first note is sexy early 2000s James Bond cover.
Let's be real though, it is hot. Like come on. It's not a bad thing. It's very early 2000s.
It is very early 2000s, and it is very much an example we could use of sexualization and objectification of female characters.
Yeah.
Especially because Warren Ellis, despite being a sex pest,
mean, here's the thing. This isn't like a Ward Ellis decision, though. This cover, like this is.
Oh no, this is a fucking editorial. This is editorials. This is editorial being like, no, we need to sell, so we got to make it sexy and hot.
Yeah.
In 5 months, why else how else are we going to get them to pick up our issues mid drift?
I'll tell you how you. I'll tell you how you do it. You open up the issue like this issue opens, and it's fucking great.
Hell yeah!
Warren Ellis rewrites the Iron Man origin, and it's fucking great. It's a great fucking scene.
It's fucking fantastic. It's basically a lot of it. The MCU takes just wholesale,
just verbatim. Oh yeah, got it.
Oh,
yeah,
very much so, yeah.
It's a shame Ellis probably didn't get royalties. I cannot fucking speak tonight. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It is such a great scene. You see Tony's first meeting with Ho Yinsen and the relationship that will eventually create Iron Man. That's essentially this whole issue. It's just a retelling of the Iron Man origin, intercut with Tony's body adapting to the Extremis virus,
like becoming cocooned, like.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the X-ray, these 2 panels of X-rays with a bunch of broken fingers that they suddenly heal themselves. Like,
yeah.
And this is where we really begin, like, a lot of the transhumanism themes of like integrating with technology and becoming more than human, both in the origin and with what Extremis is doing.
Yeah.
Such a shame this isn't written by Grant Morrison, because oh god,
I mean, this is still good. It's still unfortunately so fucking good. It's
honestly, like, it's the terrible thing of like, if every issue was up to this like was like this issue and these ideas, perfect book. It's the problem of the rest of the comic doesn't quite match. Like, a lot of it just doesn't quite match. Like,
the rest of the comic is good, but
it's good. It's good. It's just
reach,
like
it doesn't reach issue 5 levels good. You know, it's
yeah.
Unfortunately, there's not much more to say about the issue beyond exactly what we just said. It's about past Tony and current Tony transforming essentially into something more. And Adi Granov's art is brilliant. I love the way he redraws the OG Iron Man suit. I think it's actually the first time that it had ever been silver, because originally it was always gold. Sorry, it was silver originally. What am I saying?
Well, I was gonna say, wasn't it silver in like the first couple of first appearance or so, and then
the very first appearance, then it became gold.
Probably because of like
because the reason they explain it in the issues is that because he's silver and he looks like a monster to people think he's scary, so he paints his armor gold so that he'll seem more like a hero.
Wait, hold on. That's not. Wait, no.
That's
I have a feeling that the real reason was the same reason as why they changed the Hulk from gray to green, because of like gray inks were hard to do. Like,
and also more colors will just sell better. That's all.
That is also true.
Yeah.
Stan Lee is a great salesman.
He knows how to sell a book.
Wait, who was the artist on Tales of Suspense? Was it?
That would have been, I can't think of his name now.
Don Heck? Was it Don Heck?
Don Heck, yes.
Because it wasn't Kirby. Or
it was not
Kirby?
It was not Kirby. It was Don Heck. Kirby might have done the very first appearance.
Kirby might have done the first appearance and early designs. Okay, cool. Because I'm like...
Yeah. Don Heck was the main artist, though, on Tales of Suspense for almost the entirety of it.
Also, wasn't Stan Lee's brother a big part of Iron Man's creation, Larry Lieber?
Yes, he was. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So
anyway,
yeah,
but
I love a lot of how Granoff does parallel a lot of the panels that we've seen earlier with Malin adapting to Extremis. It's very good. I really like the way the issue ends.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is also another thing that is adapted directly into the movie Iron Man 3. Is Tony's suit becoming part of his body? The virus. Essentially, not through the same thing, of course, but in this case, it is the Extremis virus makes him directly connected to his suit, and we get it like literally.
He can change his body. He can interface with the computer and change like again, it's transhumanism. It's really interesting. It doesn't quite get explored too much.
We do get an ever so slightly altered Iron Man suit. It's a bit more sleek by the end of the issue, which is very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just nice. It looks good. Love the designs. Love the art. Iron Man goes out to kick some ass, and that takes us into our final issue, which, unfortunately, there's not much to say. It's a really lovely looking fight. Yep, that's it.
Oh yeah, I was like, I don't have any notes. One of them is like, most of this issue is action. Great fucking action.
It's lovely.
Yeah. This is where the art
so
shines
good.
the most, I think.
Yeah, it's so
like just
good.
the colors, it's so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good.
Iron Man beat the bad guy, and Maya is sent to prison, and that is it. That's the. I'm sorry if that sounds really anticlimactic. It's lovely. Everyone should seek out the issues because they look.
But here's the thing: plot wise, it is anticlimactic. Like it is anticlimactic. There isn't some great characterization of Malin. Like the ball is just dropped on who this villain is and what he means. Tony gets some good stuff near the end in terms of like.
I mean that's why I say that like Warren Ellis shouldn't have even like dedicated the time to giving him like a 2-page backstory, because like you could have just dedicated 2 extra pages to fleshing out the story, and because like this villain is nothing. Like I don't know. I don't like Malin as a villain.
There's this idea of like that's like Maya tells Tony that he's no better than her, which is a good note to end on.
Which is that same shit that Sal was talking about before,
Yeah, like it's.
I will say this for our faithful listeners and Iron Man readers on the podcast with me: we're not done with Sal yet. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So. But it's an anticlimactic in only that like exactly 3 things happen in the issue, and that's it.
It feels like it's like, well, we know we're getting off this book. Let's just end it. I'd like to say this is the one issue that makes me think, like, was it Ellis getting writer's block and having trouble scripting an ending? ? Or was it just how detailed Granoff's art is? Because
possibly a combination of the two. I would probably say more Granoff, because it's not a hard ending to script.
Like again, my 2 notes are literally action sequence. Maya is arrested.
They do the fight.
That's it. It's a good ending. It's a very easy ending. It's a very easy comic to read. It's good. It's solid. Issue 5 is the best thing about it, but the rest of it isn't half bad either. Like, gonna be honest, I was hoping to be wowed by this, and I wasn't.
That's fair. I mean,
mainly because I every time we do a new character, I want to fall in love with that character. Like, and it's happened.
I feel like issue 5 is enough to really get you invested in the character.
Invested, yes. Fall in love, not so much. Like,
Tony Stark is a hard guy to love.
This is true. But he's not also got quite the love to hate thing yet. That I feel like could also be a valid way to write him. Because flawed characters and things.
Mason, anything to add on our finale here of the
issue? I think I agree with something Jacob said earlier. I kind of wish they did more with the transhumanism stuff, because like I do think that they kind of dropped the like, what else is this thing gonna do to him? Because it's like, oh well, now he can summon it and now he connects to the satellites. It's like, that's a lot of things that human beings are not originally designed to do. How the fuck is he dealing with that?
Get Grant Morrison to write this idea, please. Someone get Morrison on the phone.
There's so many, like, and I might be biased just because I love transhumanism, like, as a subsection of science fiction, and I want there to be more with this, but it's like, no, because like I do think that this is the place to do it, because like the story is called The Thing That Did This to Him. Like, if there's any time to explore like the after effects of this, whether they're good or bad, like not going to make a declarative statement on as to like whether like this is a good thing or a bad thing, but just like this is the place to do it. Like, and it just feels very quick of like, yeah, no, I'm fixed now. All right. Anyways, hey, you also had a key to that thing. We're arresting you. It's like, it really does feel quick. Like if it feels like they wrapped it up more than like like I don't know. It just doesn't feel like as well paced as the other issues, I guess.
And I honestly, I think some of it could also be it's like, hey, Civil War is coming. Like that is where the story is going.
You guys can't see it right now, but I'm twirling my evil villain mustache because I'm now realizing that you guys are like execute program a lot more than I thought you were going to. Based on this conversation, that's really,
okay,
really interesting. Yeah, okay,
that makes me excited.
Yeah,
because here's the thing: I have the book. I'm ready to start. I have started drafting some of my expectations. They aren't done yet. I got busy, and just didn't draft them. But
you watched a James Bond movie today. You didn't get busy.
This is true. I was also packing while I watched the James Bond movie, Joey.
Sure. Just whatever. Anyway, all right. Does that do it for our Extremis conversation?
I think so.
I was gonna say we did some adaptive material for this, but we basically had a conversation on all three of the Iron Man movies throughout this. So.
Yeah. Just to sum up, I don't like Iron Man 2. I like Iron Man 3, and I think Iron Man 1 is the best.
Yeah, definitively the best, Mason.
I'm so glad you said my name to warrant that it is now the time for the correct person to speak. I think Iron Man 1 is really good. I really, really like Iron Man 1. It's either my second or third favorite of the Phase 1 of MCU stuff. Then like Iron Man 2 I think is the weakest, and then I just love Iron Man 3. And no amount of incorrect hosts, if that even is their real title, will dissuade me of this opinion.
Sure. I see how it is. I am betrayed on all sides. All right. Well, I think that does it. Yeah. It's worth it. Yeah. I had Jacob watch the entire trilogy because he was like, "Well, we could just watch one, right?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, but the only movie that this one is adapting is Iron Man 3, really." So that is adapted from this is Iron Man 3. So
I would argue Iron Man 1 is also adapted from this
one as well. And at that point, you may as well just watch all three. So
yes.
Yeah. All right. I think that does it for that. Let's begin closing ourselves out. Let's do some promotions. Mason, anything going on right now?
I mean, I don't know. In a couple of weeks, I'll have a degree, but that's not really public things that people can interact with. So,
that's
like,
fair. That's true.
I don't know. I mean, I'll be back eventually, pretty soon, actually, like very soon.
Pretty soon.
Yeah, very soon.
Everyone should follow Mason on Blue Sky, which will be linked down below, and congratulate him when he graduates. So there's that.
Yeah. Also, we may be continuing commentary soon as well.
True.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So
I would love to. Yes.
Would be fun. But yeah, I think. What else? Jacob, what do you have going on?
I mainly have my blog where I have been reviewing some Doctor Who books. I will also be getting a Star Wars review coming in the near-ish future, maybe, hopefully within the week. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get through the book that I haven't started the book yet, but there'll be one of those. I'm also reviewing Star Trek: The Next Generation, and at the time of this is out, I will have just finished Conspiracy, the penultimate episode.
2 days, Jacob. Come on.
Yeah, my brain thought it was out a week later, and I had to pivot mid-sentence, Joey.
Yeah.
Conspiracy, the penultimate episode of season 1 of Next Generation.
Good app.
I am so ready for TNG season 1 to be over, you guys. You won't even believe it. Like,
I'm about to start season 3 in my watchings because me and my brother record in advance, so there's that. But yeah,
so
same
which of course means that if anyone has any recommendations on how you should watch TNG, make sure to exclusively talk about season 2 because they definitely haven't already recorded them and can then make differences and changes as to how doing it.
Mason, you're my favorite person. Yes, likewise, yes, of course, we do Star Trek reviews on the channel. Me and my brother, we're at the same place. We just put out our video on conspiracy. You can check that out. As if you're on our Patreon at the Ensign tier, you can watch our next week's video, a week in advance. You can watch that now for the season finale of TNG Season 1, The Neutral Zone. And we'll be on Season 2 very soon. I'm very excited about releasing Season 2 videos soon because it's when me and my brother started recording in person again, so it's very exciting. The energy of those early Season 2 videos is just off the fucking charts because we were just so excited to be back in person. So lots of fun stuff. Main podcast, this stuff. I don't know if you like this. You might like other things we do. Fresh Face One Shots. We cover Superman by Joshua Williamson, Wonder Woman by Tom King, Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, the end of the Long Halloween saga. We also cover The Uncanny X-Men by Gail Simone, and that's it for One Shots. Oh god, it's so nice to have a normal, simple one shot schedule. It's great.
And I was going to say, I hate to say it, it feels like we're still recovering from X-Man Hunt, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. Also on the channel, me and my brother also do R2BD as our Star Wars show. Recently, we put out our video on Andor Season 1, and very soon, considering we're recording this on May the 3rd, we're going to put out our video on Tales of the Underworld. It's going to be a lot of fun. And obviously, shortly after that, we'll do Andor Season 2. Lots of Star Wars things coming out right now. We'll get back to books soon. So lots of fun things happening. And I think that does it. As always, our socials, our link trees and everything will be in the description below. You can follow us wherever you want to follow us. Wherever you're listening to us, be it Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, etc. Be sure to leave a rating, subscribe, comment. If you comment on things on the YouTube copies, on Fresh Face One Shots, on Spotify, because you can comment on Spotify. We'll read your comments out as long as they are within reason on Fresh Face Correspondence, which we always do after our Q&A section in our non-spoiler section. The non-spoiler section just keeps getting longer, and I just kind of appreciate that.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
It's not a bad thing. It's because non-spoiler sections used to be like 10 minutes long, and it's kind of nice. So,
I am slightly a little bit. Civil Wars as an episode is going to be interesting because two guests, utterly chaotic guests who are going to.
Lots of things to talk about, yeah.
And it's going to be great because I've never met this other person, so that podcast will be our first conversation ever.
I think. Yeah. I mean, so was my first episode with this guest back when we did the Winter Soldier episode. I had never talked to Kestrel before that moment, so.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah. So I think oddly enough, you and Kestrel's energy will match very nicely.
I'm so excited! Let's do it.
Yeah, lots of fun. I think that about does it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, Blood Studios. Any support means the world to us. Until next time, this has been Joey Morgan,
Jacob Licklider,
Mason Peters.
Goodbye.